Hey, welcome back to the Spiritual Teachers Podcast. With me today is Dasha Love. She's an amazing friend and human. She is a life coach, an author, a renounced public speaker, and just an awesome spiritual teacher. I'm really, really happy to have you here with us today, Dasha. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so today, what I was thinking we could start the discussion with was human design and what human design is, the different types of human design. I know you've been studying human design for many years, and I consider you an expert in the field. And I know you speak about human design and tie it into how people can include it in their business, in their communities, in their life in general. So yeah, can you just like start out by sharing a little bit about what it is, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, thank you. Um, Human design is one of the most beautiful tools to help you understand, just like what it says, your design, and more specifically, destiny by design, and how to be in alignment with who you are based on the very specific moment of your birth when your soul has decided to have a physical body. So we all have, and we're all energy, and you carry around a specific type of energy frequency that's moving through space. And in that energy frequency is words that describe your genius. So based on the very specific moment of your birth, very specific time, very specific location, that one precise moment is being recorded and translated. So the position of the Earth based on where the planets are is translated to help you understand who you are, the value, your energy signature. So that way you can, when you understand yourself, you can obviously have an easier life, right? And it's never
Right.
going to change.
Yeah.
You understand that energy, and that energy has a type, right? The way that it interacts with other people, the way you're meant to make decisions. So when you understand that, then you start to see that life is easier by you just using your energy the right way, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
other
absolutely.
people plug in because we're all pieces of a puzzle. Once you understand your energy, how to communicate the energy, how to communicate the value, how to be yourself, you can let other people be themselves. And then you see how you together make quantum because energy, different energy types come to collaborate.
Yeah, so I mean, for sure. And I think that some people are born like their parents take them to a place just to be born and then they leave, right? Like you hear about it all the time where people are born in other countries or they're raised there. Like, I know for myself, I was born in Russia but moved to America very young. So I have that specific location as part of this design, right? But like my life path was meant to be in the States, you know? And because of that, I have certain qualities that are very specific to being born right there in Moscow, right?
Mhm.
Same
And it's
same with you, right?
right, right. And it's even bigger than that when we are healing ourselves and by understanding ourselves, right? By going towards something that's bigger than ourselves, our purpose, call it God, call it highest self. We are healing the frequency from these countries, meaning like we heal part of ourselves, like because we can magnetize people that are just like us, right? Because we've traveled through these countries, and these countries are part of who we are
Hmm.
because that's where you were born. So that's what makes the unique energy frequency, and those are the different components of it. Being an immigrant is you healing yourself and your lineage
Hmm.
from wherever you come from. So it's
Right.
like we are the representatives of our the past countries we've lived in where we were born.
Right.
It's like so beautiful. And then understanding the energy and then embracing that, it just opens up the possibility for people to be attracted to us that have similar types of backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And you were born in another country too, right? You came pretty young.
Yep, Kazakhstan and Israel.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So it's really amazing. It's really amazing that, I met your sister in Encinitas and then we got to become friends, and it's all the synchronicities that aligned to for us to meet and for us to be healing similar types of lineages and similar types of paths, where, we were raised in this country, our for me, my culture revolves around that, like I feel like I still resonate with a lot of the Russian culture, but also a lot of it is has shifted and evolved for me, and it's been really cool to connect with you guys, you and your sister, because you've shown me parts of myself that I couldn't see unless it was with Russian speaking people. Your sister in particular, she was such a mirror for me because when we would speak in Russian, there would be different trigger words, there would be different things that would activate something in me because I was, in my family, that's the main language that we spoke, and it was really interesting to just observe that and to be aware of that because there's certain things in the language, right, that in English, if somebody said it to me, I wouldn't be affected at all. But if somebody called me something in Russian, it would tie back to something in that lineage and in the way my parents spoke to me, the way that my other, family spoke to me. So it's that was really interesting to observe for me with you guys. So have you noticed any of that with other Russian speakers?
Well, yeah, of course, totally. Like I believe that our background makes us a superhero, right?
Right.
So, the superhero component of us, for example, is the fact that we speak Russian, right? It's part of us. It's a superpower
Hmm.
because in a room, if you hear somebody speaking Russian and you're standing in a grocery store and suddenly you say "Привет," like suddenly they light up because they're like, "Whoa, from the same tribe as me." So
Right.
that's what makes us like so powerful. Like all these things that have happened to us in the past, including where we come from, the languages we speak, the experiences we had, when we can, you know, plug ourselves in and then always like speak and light people up, everybody feels like they belong.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's a belonging. It's definitely a superpower.
Yeah, for sure. And tying into that, just kind of looping back to the human design, can you share like how it started? The five, there's five different types, right?
Yeah, well, one of them is works the same way. So there's technically four energy types,
Okay.
but five names for that. So there's projectors.
Okay.
These are guides, natural guides, about 20% of the population, and the energy is like enveloping the space, like zeroing into a person, being able to see what they need to do, seeing systems. And projectors are here more for their gift of seeing more than doing. So projectors energy type is very penetrating, and it's like a bird that sits on a tree, right?
Mhm.
And everybody else is looking for water. Unless everybody looks at the bird up and say, hey, which way is the water? The bird needs to stay quiet because the
Mm,
energy of the projector is too strong, like a sword. If it's unwelcomed and there hasn't been an opening for somebody to let the projector do and use their seeing gifts correctly.
okay. So they
So
need an
project
invitation.
Yes. But an
Okay.
invitation, some people think that they have to wait for it. No, an invitation is anything if somebody's seen you on social media, if somebody asks you a question. So you need to prepare yourself to like, what is your elevator pitch? What are you doing here? What is your superpower? So the moment you do get an opening, which is a like, a comment, a question, you can deliver your message. So they
Okay.
know if it's them, what you're doing is here for them or not for them, you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
So that's
Beautiful.
the projector, yeah. And then we have the manifestors, which is 9% of the population, and they are the initiators. They're like the people that say, go this way, then people listen to them, and people get out of their way if they're like at an airport because their energy is so strong. And I had a really crazy experience with manifestor energy, but once you understand, it's kind of like repels people.
Mm. And
That's a man,
attracts the right energies, right?
correct,
Hmm.
of course. And then for its ability to initiate things. And then you have the generators and manifesting generators. So they're called different ways, but their energy works the same way. And they're like the talk show host, very friendly, likable, easygoing. They are the worker bees. They can do a lot of stuff. The difference is the generators have to focus on one big thing at a time and go lead it to fruition. It may take them longer than the rest of the energy types. The manifesting generators have to focus on a few different projects at the same time to be able to use their energy the right way. And then you
Mm.
have reflectors, which is they have to wait a whole lunar cycle, only 1% of the population have to wait a whole lunar cycle to make decisions.
Mm. Yeah, I think I only know two reflectors in all of my friends. And they definitely have to navigate a bit different. That everything is like very, it seems like they pick up a lot of energy from other people, and it's for them it's hard to differentiate what's theirs. They have to like really sit with themselves and really tune into like what's their energy and what's not, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of there's authority profile like the different ways your definition um different ways to understand what's yours and what's not yours going through a process called deconditioning because human design believes that we are all different, the science of differentiation, we're all unique and we all have a genius, but because we've been conditioned by the world to operate the same way, right? Go to school, study hard, get an education, uh, then you'll have lots of money, then you build a family. Like we've all been programmed the same way. We go through a process called deconditioning when we understand this study, how powerful it is. Deconditioning, removing the conditions that have been put on us from the outside world by looking at our own body graph, our own graph, and our own definitions based on the very precise moment of birth and the location. So
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
wearing a bunch of masks or wearing a bunch of clothes on top of you, right? Like, because how many people go through their life and get a job or have a family or become a lawyer or make the money and still feel unfulfilled, right? They're not
Right.
living up to their fullest potential and they're not living up to their fullest expression of who they are. So
You see that
that's
off that's it you see that very often in society. So it's really great to have people like yourself and other people that are guiding people to really step into their true power, to really understand what 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 their purpose is, what lights them up, what's like their highest passion, because for a lot of people, there's a lot of shedding, right? Those layers have to be shed in order for the new skin to grow, right? Like a snake. And that's really it's very important because right now I think a lot of people are starting to recognize that formula, right, of like school, college, degree, then working that just doesn't work for them. They want more freedom, they want more alignment, they want to feel seen, they want to feel loved, and that obviously all starts from within. So, yeah, I think it's crucial actually right now for people to tune into that, because when people are aligned with their passions, are aligned with their true highest timelines, then they are this light that attracts and opens up and lights up all these other lights for the whole world to be lit up.
Yes. And I came up with this process called Story to Millions that incorporates this into it.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, as you know, or maybe if you're watching this right now, you don't know, um, my story, awakening story, began when my mom um, was gasping for air in 2014, transitioning. She was diagnosed with stage 4B cervical cancer, and she was only 49, 50 when she transitioned. And on her deathbed, I couldn't believe it. But like my mind, like so many other people's, was stuck on repeat of the same old story of how I was abused, how I was never loved, how I always ran away. And then I blurred the words, Mom, why did you have to ruin my life?
Mm,
And that moment, like I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Like she's fighting to stay alive, and I'm like bringing out my own agenda. And what came next actually changed my whole life. Because she said, my brothers abused me when I was little. And then after she passed away, my dad was like, your mom wanted to be a nun, but she was afraid that the family was gonna fall apart. So the stories, we all have stories that are inside of us, and unless we bring those stories out and learn how to transform them with community, seeing what's possible, sharing our past, understanding ourselves, like understanding that we can become a superhero of our own life, understanding that we can shift our identity based on the world that we've seen around us and the things that light us up from what we see. So it's like I came to understand that not only did we come here to understand our story by sharing it authentically to attract our tribe, but we came here to also transform our story into a new identity, like a superhero suit. Because it's like if you're seeing something outside yourself that lights you up, like somebody's singing it on a stage, right? Somebody's speaking on a stage, somebody that has a book, like all of these are different parts of people that they've embodied, like different identities. And if it lights you up, that means you want it. That means the part of you is like, oh my God, I want to be an author. Oh my God, I want to speak. Oh my God, I want to be $1 million badass. And once you're like, whoa, okay, so what do I need to do to get there? Oh, I gotta figure out what my story is, change that story, right? Create a vision and write that book, speak it out, like sell that truth to myself. And then I can experience abundance in the world.
hmm
And part of understanding that story was human design for me
hmm
because I was doing all the parts myself instead of just using my energy the right way, my guiding energy the right way, and learning how to put value on it and not
hmm
trying to do everything in this, like learning how to delegate, learning how to use that energy correctly based on human design, learning how to make decisions correctly
hmm
as I'm transforming the story.
Yeah, and so
So
what is your human design?
I'm a projector 2-4. So I'm a
Okay.
hermit opportunist and a projector, which ability to see and guide. And when I learned that, so profile lines are the ways that we see ourselves and the way that the world sees us. So an identity shift happens in our life when there's alignment between the way that we see ourselves and the way that the world sees us.
Mm,
That's an identity shift because once you have this alignment, now you're the cream de la crop of business, which is just another word for awakening, helping people wake up,
hmm hmm
right? So it's
Yeah,
like so profile lines, the two helped me understand that I'm a hermit. So I had to learn that my genius comes through by spending time alone when my whole life I've been the party girl.
right.
So when I learned this and then I started spending time alone, boom, books, music, like my genius just started to flourish because I started tuning in to higher and higher parts of myself. And
Right.
the
Yeah.
four is the one I was getting pulled out to the outside world. The four is community. The four is like, I can see you. come guide this circle of people to be able to become more themselves. So then, like, once I started receiving the correct invitations from the community, everything began to blossom.
Mm, amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I think so. Would you say that with that alignment, right? With like the
Inside,
this
outside.
inside outside, right? Like did you do you feel like an ego death was essential for that, or do you think um
Oh, ego death every day.
okay.
It's the transformation, and sometimes you feel like, whoa, like, can there really be more? Because when you're looking at the next thing here, I'll give a Bible an example, right? And you want to write a book, and you think that that's the big elephant, but really that's a stepping stone.
Hmm.
So the caterpillar must cease to become a butterfly almost daily.
Yep.
It has to shed and release, and it's like once you're like, how many more layers? There's more. But there
Yeah.
comes a point where you got to switch from being a consumer to being a creator, and knowing that there's somebody that's two steps behind you, or somebody that you could complement, because awakening is never ending. And we're never going to be awake enough, because we're always going to keep waking up. There's always more to learn,
Hmm.
endless.
Right.
So just got to learn how to shift the focus when you want to make money, to become of service, and understand that through your higher purpose, you're going to keep healing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that, and I think that when we have those ego deaths, right? Like I heard you say like every day, right? Like to me, when I hear that, it's like energetic hygiene, right? Like every day doing aligning to that center, finding that alignment because the timelines are shifting sometimes, right? And it's like finding that center, finding what what clears out other people's energies or other people's thoughts or beliefs for what the individual needs to be doing, right? And then that ego can step out of the way and the higher alignment can just take over, you know? And with that being said, I'm really curious, like, can you share some of the bigger ego deaths that you've had in your life?
Mm, yeah, I mean, this whole idea of money, it's like it's magic. Like if you can learn how to believe in magic and understand how valuable you are and communicate it, then you can literally quantum leap. Like my whole life, I used to believe that you need to take stepping stones, until I learned about human design and taking quantum leaps, and literally doing things like daily rituals, forgiveness practices, sigils from the new hermetics, like doing magical thing, and then like owning my self-worth. Like quantum is a combination of doing things that are not ordinary, that are extraordinary, to yield extraordinary results. So
Hmm.
you can, like, yesterday have a client that's 10K, today working on yourself, doing the magic practices, embodiment, and owning your truth, and tomorrow you can get the 25K client, the day after 100K, like, or a million. Like there's, this idea that you're supposed to grow in incremental ways, when I'm learning now more and more every single day that your alignment is quantum. The faster you can get into alignment daily and understand how truly worth it and valuable you are, and that none of these things outside of yourself matter, that your soul tribe will find you when you find you, because you got to see you before other people can see you. You can't be like, I'm this, but really on the inside, you're feeling this.
Right.
And like authenticity, because we're not all 100% all the time, and that's okay, right? Like I have down days and I'm authentic about it, and I'm like, great, so I had a 5 minute self-pity party, and now I'm done with it.
Hmm.
Like like
Hmm.
Like, of course it comes back. And no matter how much money you make, the inner villain or whatever you call your mind or the devil will always try to, or other people will always try to bring you down, no matter how spiritual or how successful these people are. So ultimately, learning how to really know if you are coming from a place of heart, right? Because that's all that matters. Because you can only do as best as you can do from the position you're at right now, which is perfect for you, which can't compare to other people because they don't have your genius. In fact, those millionaires or those people with a bunch of followers, it doesn't mean anything because they need your magic when you own that magic inside of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I think every single person has something that they're just here to shine and to share, you know. And I've noticed that not everybody's here to reach those higher levels of awareness and to awaken in this lifetime. And that's something that was like a hard truth for me to really grasp and to really understand was like, man, there's a very select amount of people that are devoted to this, right? Like it's a devotion and
Yes.
and there's waves of it, right? Like there's ups and downs, you know, even you talk to the most successful business people, the most successful rock stars, whatever, right? They had to go through those failures to reach those upper peaks. But when there is a new level of awareness, when there hasn't been an awakening, the graph kind of looks like this, where it's like there's dips, but then it keeps moving up. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
there's a trend line moving up overall, but there are these little dips because we're human, we're here to have a human experience, right? And we also are learning a lot each time we have those dips, right? We wouldn't know the light without the darkness, right? Like every single person that I've talked to that's had an awakening has had that dark night of the soul, that has had that moment where they were just like rock bottom, you know? And then that allowed them to shoot, and the majority of those people had to pull themselves up out of there, right? Like nobody did it for them. Nobody, like there was guides for some of these people, but for a lot of them, they were just like, okay, I gotta pull myself out of this mess. You know, I created this mess. I'm in that mud, you know, now I gotta blossom out and become the lotus, you know?
Yeah, so what I learned, because I also did a lot of things by myself, is that when you have the correct guides that have been there over and over again, staying in the proximity to their power because they're holding on to, that's the magic. They can't do it for you, but if you feel that your guides, right, light you up because you can catch their fire because they're holding on to it, that's where abundance, that's where money comes in because you're able to hold on to the frequency, to the vibration,
Hmm.
right? Staying around, right? Being immersed with the people who have learned how to, or the person who have learned how to hold on to it until you can fully hone onto it for yourself, for whatever, however big your vision is, until you can fully hold on to it, which means you're in momentum and you're not getting off the ride, or you know how to bounce back faster. You got to stay in it. I wish I would have learned that sooner,
Hmm.
that like you have to stay in the proximity of the people who are holding on to the fire without bringing it down,
Hmm. Hmm.
like they're letting it build on its own momentum, because if you keep staying around the people that you see that are building on the momentum, they're making a bigger and bigger fire,
Hmm.
and it's just a matter of time before an abundance, prosperity is ability to make fire, because the people are curious, they're excited. So when you come up with things out of your imagination to sell to them, that's what life's about. Like everything is from our imagination. The table, the chair, like humans, buildings, high ticket offers, everything is a product of imagination gone wild. So when you can learn to hone in that that's like the greatest skill and learning how to communicate and use it, it's priceless. You become unstoppable because you can imagine anything and you can get people to join you on a movement and the dance that you're creating, right? Because you
Yeah.
imagined it.
Yeah, I mean it's trippy for me to think about that. Like I had a moment I remember like several years ago where I was like everything that I see in my reality at some point was somebody's vision, somebody's dream, somebody's imagination. And the house I'm in, the car, somebody had to draw an art, design that. Somebody had to put the pieces together. Somebody had to go and collect all the materials and literally every single thing that we look at, except for the earth and nature, right? Everything human made was somebody's idea at some point, and even nature, I believe, was a
God's
being's,
creation,
yeah, a
right?
being's creation, God's creation, and I believe the earth is alive. I believe that the earth has its own frequency. One great example of that, I think, was um COVID, right? Where like the earth got sick. Every single country had a pause. The animals came back, they started, migrating again. They started going into the towns, and that was just a example of how the earth took a little break, had a little cold, or had a little rest break, however you want to put it. And that was fascinating for me to live through that experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think tying it back to the human design, we in San Diego, in Encinitas, started this community, this meditation group where we would meet every morning during COVID to just help people find their find their center, do that energetic hygiene, right? Like clear out any of those stagnant old thoughts. And it was really cool how those human designs just naturally fell into place. Like, there was this natural way that certain people started to teach, certain people started to, promote, certain people started to open their space to different events and things like that. And like, I mean, I think human design can be incorporated into any business, any community, any household. Like when people understand that, like, okay, me being a manifestor generator, you being a projector, then we have, a couple other people, generators, what have you, right? Each one of these people can really hone in on that, and it can amplify the whole, right? Because we have these kind of like superpowers that each one of us carries with that design, right? And have you seen that in the community there? Like how I know your sister is trying to bring that to the light to help people and show people how they can use that. Have you seen that in the community in Miami?
So, oh, good point. Good point. I have opened myself up to the global community. So I'm attracting who I need digitally. And my business partner right now is a manifesting generator 5-1, which is a problem solver. And she's an eight-figure earner, build over 5 brands. And she sees how my gifts benefit and could benefit everybody that she knows,
Mm,
especially because of the I'm a natural genius according to human design, and I'm here to lead with the way of heart. Use my seeing abilities to open hearts, right?
hmm
Through books, through new identities. So I knew that I wanted a partner who would be a complement to my energy because I understood that I'm the natural genius, but I'm a hermit. Like, I'm not going to get pulled out to the world unless somebody has the correct energy type to pull me and put me in front of the right audiences of people that are eager, have been looking for me. When I
Mm,
was trying to do this by myself, I was operating out of alignment, not by design, because I haven't received invitations. Even though I wanted to change people's lives, I wasn't receiving invitations and wasn't being seen, right? Recognized in order to open up my channeling, my gifts to audiences. So when I learned this, then I opened myself up to the world to be a magnetic match to the correct partnerships that are quantum based on by design. Everything changed. Like the way that she operates, frontline branding as a manifesting generator, as a 5-1 who is a problem solver, she can look at all of the things that I've created in my hermit self and put incredible structure around it, put
mm,
beautiful boas in ways that people can comprehend and understand, because I've created thousands of meditations, songs, transformation, 8 books, but it's like creation, 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 creation all came
mm,
through the genius because I learned to be by myself. But then me not knowing how to communicate this to the outside world is the reason she stepped in and she was like, whoa, we got to get this genius out. But hold on, let me solve this problem of you infinitely creating. Holy crap,
right.
so much stuff. And then let me help you deliver it to the people who've been looking for you in bite-sized, beautifully packaged ways. So that's what it means when you have, you own your superpower, you stay in your lane.
Hmm.
Don't try to learn all the skills because they tell you like learn all the skills that will pay the bills. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Hmm.
Learn and hone in on your skill
Hmm.
and become a vibrational match for somebody who would be a complement to who you are, your skills, your superpowers by design for you together to amplify and create a bigger impact as a result of collaboration, co-creation, right?
Right.
Transformation together as a of becoming one,
Hmm.
right? We're bigger together. So it's been incredible by understanding design and how it works and exactly what I needed to complement my genius.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. I love to hear that. I haven't met your partner yet, but she sounds awesome. She sounds super, you guys sound super aligned and I'm st super stoked for you guys. Um,
Yeah, come to our masterclass. But really, I just wanted to say that the reason why I she was magnetic to me is because of the way that she was showing up. She
mm,
embodied a new identity as a happy CEO. Like
okay,
she came from dentistry, so she was a corporate slave
right.
until she realized that she didn't have to be. And really, like, it was all about like how happy she was that people were magnetized to her. And she transitioned from corporate to creating her own brand as a happy CEO. And she's actually always happy. She found a way to just always be. And I'm like, wow, I want that. And
Hmm.
that's what made her magnetic,
Hmm.
is the embodiment of a new identity, which she stepped into and owned in every way possible,
Hmm. Hmm.
and teaches others to own as well. No matter what business they're in, they can be a happy CEO.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful because when there's all these different levels of stress in life, it can get really overwhelming and a lot of people, we have a pandemic of like people taking antidepressants and being like not knowing how to find their purpose, to how to find their alignment with what lights them up. Like they may have these sometimes vague memories from the past of like what they really wanted to do, but that's just kind of fizzled out. And I think it's really crucial and important what you guys are doing. And a lot of there's a lot of really powerful practices too that can help with that. I know you mentioned a couple. Another one that is really powerful is Kundalini yoga. Another one is Reiki, which is like a type of energy healing. There's so many different ways to align, but people just have to open up to it. They have to
Yeah.
remove
And
some of those old beliefs of like,
the
oh,
thing is, there needs to be a bigger vision because what people don't understand is that The hero is going on two journeys. A journey of achievement is on a surface level, and a journey of transformation is happening right below simultaneously. So
Hmm.
a lot of people are focusing on the underneath journey, neglecting the achievement journey because they're pushing away money because they think money is somehow separate from who they authentically are, from spirituality. So then they find themselves transforming and then they don't really understand why. So they don't have a big enough drive that will keep them through all nighters, like through when things get tough. If you don't have a big enough why and you don't have a goal that's bigger than yourself, yes, that includes financial too, then you're gonna quit. And then you're gonna blame it on stories or the past or the economy or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and I think that it ties into also what we talked about earlier, like tuning into the heart, tuning into what really wants to come through from the heart, right?
Yes.
It's not from the ego, it's not coming from a place of like, oh yeah, okay, I want to have, there's a balance with it, right? And then some people, especially in America, think that like when they get the nice car, when they get the huge house, when they get the really nice job, that's what's going to bring them the joy. But that's that other path, right? Like that's they're going and trying to do all those achievements, but then they're not doing the internal work. They're not finding what really is underneath all that, like not
So that,
healing
that's
those.
what I call conditional love, which in essence, in my first book, The Girl with the Buddha Tattoo, is prostitution. Because you say if that happens, then if you do this, then I mean that's the same thing as exchanging if then, right? It's
Right.
not real. So what I found is that what helps with transforming the heart is learning how to become obsessed with serving other people
I
at
was
the
just gonna
highest
say that. Yeah.
possible level. Like can I, like, if I can't get somebody to build me a big enough dream a year from now because they don't want to go there or they want to keep playing small, then I can't help them. So first you got to build a big enough dream that seems totally unbelievable, right? And
Very
then we can
difficult to reach,
go
right?
through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, difficult to reach, but that's what transformation's all about. Like if I can hold you through building a bigger than life dream that you didn't even imagine that you could pop up, like that you can really hone into, then I can help you. Because I know that when I'm helping you transform, going toward one thing at a time, something that's bigger than yourself, I'm really helping myself because I'm obsessed with your success. Like when you become obsessed with other people's big dreams, ideas, and vision, and you hold them through it, and God speaks when you're running on the beach or wherever you're doing, moving your body, like, whoa, and you're getting downloads for your clients, that means that you're now one. Like you have gotten out of your own way and you're actually serving. Collapsing timelines. That's what heart really means. That's how
Yeah.
you tune into the heart, becoming obsessed with helping other people that see you as the guide, reach the next level of success and become the best version of themselves, become their genius.
Yeah, and I mean, what you're doing essentially in that moment is you're holding space, and then they're helping you by you seeing what they're capable of doing just by you holding space for them and like being super present, being heart open, allowing that person to thrive and just step into that. And maybe for the first time, or maybe very few of the times, this person is actually seen and felt like, oh wow, somebody actually sees my vision, wants to support it, wants to like be there for me and help with this, right? And it's like, oh wow, I haven't felt that potentially ever, right? And then
Right?
this person's showing up and being like, wow, okay, you
All
got this.
people all people really need is how many people to believe in their dream. Literally just one person.
Hmm.
So if you can be that one person, Like no matter where you are, even if you haven't achieved that level of success that this person wants to achieve, if you
Hmm.
can be that one person for them, you are going to become the most successful person in the world.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember though, like that it's about bigger dreams and bigger goals, right? Because if the goals are not big enough, they're not gonna stretch the person you're working with. They're not gonna stretch you to be
Right.
the space to get out of the way because it's not you that's doing the work. Okay, it's God, it's consciousness, it's oneness, it's love, it's heart. When we say yes, we're opening up to all of this. It's connection. It's not about you and what you believe is possible for the people you're working with, right? It's
Yeah.
about it's
How
about they open up to, and then you're holding the space for it, and you're
how would
helping them with questions, arrive at their own conclusions, right? Get creative, unleash their imagination, understand their superpower with different tricks like human design, jinkies, writing books.
yeah, and I mean, I guess somebody might ask, how do you gauge that? How do you gauge if the dream's big enough? Like, how do you know?
A question. So this is what I channeled. I have a course that goes together with my training. It's all about closing your eyes and going on a journey of being a child again and imagining those different things. Because let's face it, Tony Robbins is a big kid jumping on a stage. And what does that mean? It means he's got energy and he's just unleashing the energy inside of everybody in the audience,
Hmm.
right? By being a kid again. And then he structured it in such a way that you can digest on how to also unleash your own energy.
Right.
So this is exactly what we do. We go into an inner journey. What did you want to do when you were little? What lit you up? An astronaut, a pop star, a teacher. When I was 7 years old, I was teaching in front of an invisible classroom, like erasing the board or the window, whatever I had a chance to write on, and talking to my imaginary students. Guess
Hmm.
what I'm doing now? The same thing.
Right. Yeah.
I was singing in a little Spice Girl mini band. Guess what I'm doing now with my partner? And we record videos and we open the channel. We're singing
Hmm.
like
Cookie
this ease.
Monster, Cookie Monster number
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Like this ease is literally like not having the ease to be who you are,
Hmm.
not trusting that who you are is enough and unleashing your gifts from inside your soul, right? The gifts you had as a child that are still probably buried deep inside yourself because who you are as a child, you're always a kid.
Yeah, I mean that brings up another really good point is like when I was a kid, I was doing Reiki on trees. I was like and animals and people. I was like super tuned into nature. I could like I could find a four-leaf clover in this giant field in the back of my school, I could like tune in and there was so much that I understood as a kid that I had to tune into again as an adult, and a lot of these spiritual masters and teachers say, eventually we come back to that inner child and a lot of these gurus and masters from the ages have become like a kid again. They're just like joyful. They're playing, they're having fun. They're just like enjoying this reality. They're not trying to achieve like, they've done all that already. They've seen what this reality is capable of and they've found this joy in just being you know and that's another level, right? Like that's like somebody like a Donald Trump, right? Like that has all the millions, that has all the success, that has everything he could ever want financially. Like somebody like that, just as an example, if they had that component of the spirituality, like they would reach these totally new heights because they already experienced all the things that society teaches us, right? Quote unquote, that are supposed to bring us joy and happiness.
Well, if you look at, okay, Donald Trump, if you look at him, he's entertaining.
He
It's
is
pure
for sure. He
entertainment.
is, yeah.
So like that's all it is. Like energy, entertainment. That's all we came here to do. So he's
Hmm.
serving his own way, entertaining the people.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
people, people can't stop talking and thinking about somebody who entertains them, who gets them out of their head. Whether you like it or not, everything is about pleasure and entertainment and energy transformation and talking about somebody. So when somebody gives you that, I mean, they win.
Hmm.
I mean, even the Dalai Lama, like you're entertained by the presence of peace.
Hmm.
Like it's a different type of energy, and it's a different type of energy that you resonate with at the moment. And not to say there are people out there that are like, oh, this is cool, like how he's showing up, he's funny, la la la, that also resonate with the Dalai Lama.
Right. Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I was just noticing behind you there's the what if it all works out, right? And that made me think about how much internally, like in my mind, how many limiting beliefs and limiting ways I used to talk to myself, right? Like in college, in high school, oh, that girl's not gonna want to talk to me. I'm just not even gonna try, like stuff like that like made no sense, but somebody at some point made me believe that, or I saw it on a TV show or whatever, right? Somehow it infiltrated my aura and it became part of one of my beliefs. And for several years, I took, and I know you did too, like taking time to like sit in meditation and analyze, like, okay, is this belief serving me? Is this belief aligned with where I want to go, or is it holding me back? Is it actually like limiting me from taking the next step? Just like even starting to work with somebody like you or me, right? Like it's like you have to there has to be a level of cleaning inside the mind to like, okay, I'm ready to take that step, you know? I've done enough of the bullshit. I've done enough of the limiting. I've done enough of like trying to hold myself back. I'm ready to step into something bigger and actually have those huge dreams and really go for it, you know?
Well, actually, what I learned and what helped me quantum leap is doing it before you're ready, because we're never actually ready. Like when you're jumping off a plane, they don't say, "Hey, let me just wait for a while until you're fully ready." They go, "One, two, three, go!"
Right.
Like, like, uh, do it. Like don't quit. If you delete the IT and QU, like do it. Just do it. Like do it. Do the uncomfortable thing. Go into the darkness. Say yes to the person whose vibration you feel that's gonna move you to the next level. Because
Right.
that person may not help you achieve everything you want, but they're sure gonna get you closer, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna get you closer to being you, being authentic, achieving accomplishment, whatever you're striving to do.
Well, that makes me think about how, you know, a lot of people believe they have to find that one right away, like the sweetheart, right? But from my journey, there was many people, many teachers that were my romantic partners that I had to go through in order to align with somebody who is totally in alignment, right? Like where it I had to go through those journeys. Sometimes it was for a few months, sometimes it was for a few years. Sometimes it was just a conversation with someone randomly, right? Like in the middle of a festival or whatever it was, that like sparked something in me, that lit something up, that activated something inside me that then took me to the next level. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of people don't like that was a belief that I had to remove too, where it was like, oh, I have to find the one right away, and if I don't, then there's something wrong with me, you know? And so it opening up to that possibility that different people are teaching me at different times. And there's nothing wrong with my journey being different than my friends who are already married or whatever I'm comparing myself to. There is no comparison because I have a very specific path and that path may look completely different than others, you know?
Yeah, well, I entitle my amazing relationship to manifestation secrets, knowing how to create the dream relationship, operating by design, human design, and then releasing the dream,
Hmm.
and then being my best self, vibing high. Without the clarity of exactly what I wanted, I don't think I would have attracted him. Because
Yeah,
when I
that's a
walked
big
in, it's like
piece.
I knew him. Like the clarity, and because I understand by design that I'm specific and I have to be super clear with the universe, like a 6-year-old child, via visual and write it down because I have to imprint it into my subconscious and then let it go. Not obsess about the outcome when it's coming, but I do have to specifically imprint and the things that are most valuable and important to me in the way that I want to feel in a relationship.
Right,
I had to do that work, and based on by design, I had to know that I'm specific. So to do it specifically in order for it to happen. So I did it specifically, released it, and then focused on myself. High vibe, high vibe, high vibe, always high vibe. Boom, it gave me everything I wanted.
yeah, see, I think that's a huge component, a huge piece is the clarity, right? From like all those relationships I had to go through, I got the clarity of what I really wanted. And then that release piece is really difficult for some people, right? Like they grab on with tooth and nail to like, but that is what I want. Like that right there, that one thing is what I want. But when you release it, every
But
single
the
time for
the thing
me,
is,
something
the
way
obsession
better came.
the obsession should become to be of service and live your purpose. That's the
Everything opens up
obsession.
from that. Yeah,
The
everything opens up from that. Yeah.
relationship comes as a result of helping you with your purpose. It
Yeah.
doesn't come and then you live your purpose. It's not a separate thing from your purpose, from being who you are. This is why book writing really helped me like transform all the stories and understand my purpose to a depth that nobody could take it away from me because it
Yeah.
gained enough momentum. Because we have three brains, the mind, the heart, and down below. And if you don't have the mind stimulated, there's something missing in your relationship. Like if you don't feel the heart, each other's heart, there's something missing. Like when you have these two components and you connect on these two levels, the third one, the actual sexuality, is just a cherry on the top.
Right. A lot of people in today's society, they run from that bottom one and they think that they need to feel something in their body or like which there's a truth to that, but it can be misleading, right? Or they are guided by that lust and that sexual drive, and sometimes it will lead them to somebody that'll help them. Other times it's not always the way, you know?
Right. So if you're not clear, then obviously you're going to keep attracting things that are going to trigger your familiar patterns, or some call it childhood wounds or emotions, inner child emotions, unhealed inner child emotions, or trauma bonding. All of these are patterns that you go back into the old and familiar. And the same thing with money. Like you always go back to your old and familiar unless you keep yourself in the quantum energy of the new possibility, of the
Hmm.
new becoming, of the vision that you've already created for the dream relationship, and you hold on to it and you create space for it. Like
And
if
then
you
you let
don't
it
hold
go.
on, yes, right.
Right.
You create space. Like, is there an extra nightstand on one of the sides of your bed? Is there space in the bathroom? Like, is there another chair put out if you're camping out by yourself? Like, you have to create the space for the universe to plug in what you need to continue to evolve and live your purpose.
Yeah, that's a really important piece right there. You know, a lot of people are they just have enough space for themselves, you know, and it starts internally in the mind, but also it manifests externally. Like you said, I mean, that was a really interesting piece. Like once I actually started clearing out space and like making space for someone, like even if it was just cleaning out my second closet so that it was completely empty for somebody to move in. like that that right there, that just that one thing, you know, helped bring that in for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I believe it all starts in the mind. Like we have to clear it in the mind, because if it's not clear in the mind, it's not going to manifest in the reality either. You know, we can, but I also notice when I clean my house, after I clean my house, there's a correlation, right? Like in my mind, I feel more clean, and it, yeah, there's a direct correlation with it for sure.
Of course. Because the mind is not really only right here, it's everywhere. And
Yeah.
that's the idea of learning how to take up more space and to take what's yours and energetically occupy the space you're in and to be able to influence others to go in the correct direction which you believe is right.
Yeah. So with that being said, how can people work with you? I'll drop some links under the YouTube and the podcast. Um, what's the what's the best way to connect with you?
We have a cool masterclass coming up next Tuesday. It's at story2millions.com, story the
Okay.
number 2millions.com, where you can come and see this whole process I was just talking about, how to create that new vision from the higher self identity, how to become, right? And then work backwards, create the vision, do your book, do your business, like convince yourself of your new identity, and
Hmm.
then you can see the outcome monetarily.
So that's November 26th.
Yeah, next
Okay.
Tuesday.
Okay.
I believe I believe at 1 p.m. next Tuesday. Yeah. Join us.
Okay.
It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna drop
Yeah.
it like hot and play the
Uh-huh.
whole time. That's the whole point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll drop the link in there, and whoever wants to join can join in, and we'll drop whatever other links you want to your Instagram and to your YouTube channel. And yeah, Dasha has
Thank
an
you.
amazing YouTube channel and an amazing podcast. What's your podcast called?
So it's on the YouTube channel. I don't even know what it's something on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
a bunch of videos there. Yeah,
Okay.
so you can
Yeah,
check those
Dasha
out.
has some amazing content and so many tools for people to help grow and expand and become their true selves. Um, Connect to that higher timeline, connect to that passion, that joy, that love, and be of service to others. So thank you so
And
much.
if you're a reader, go to Amazon. I got 8 books over there you can check out.
Okay. All under Dasha Love, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. And your most popular one is the girl with the Buddha
With a
tattoo?
tattoo. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
That one took
Beautiful.
7 years only.
Only 7 years, no big deal.
15-hour days. No biggie. It's one evolving moment to God, anyways.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Dasha. It was such a pleasure to have you, and
Thank you for having me.
sending you all the love and all the manifestations that you want to have.
Woo! Same to you. I love you. Have a good day.
I love you. See you soon.
Bye.